Good evening and a warm welcome to GRTS News. We are live broadcasting for viewers in the Gambia and around the world. In our top stories this hour, the Ambassador-designate of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania presents his letters of credence to the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, at the State House in Banjul. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, presides over the launch of a project designed to strengthen efficiency and accessibility for the Gambia Immigrations Department, plus a 3-day consultative forum on the need to promote peaceful elections by ECOWAS wraps up at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center. In sports, GFF First Division champions Fortune Football Club hosts Algerian side ES Setif in its CAF Champions debut on Saturday at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. In the internationals, officials of ECOWAS are meeting with special military forces in Guinea following the recent overthrow of Alpha Conde's government. Still in Guinea, the military junta says the post-President Alpha Conde's mismanagement of the country's resources triggered the takeover. Well, that and much more coming ahead in this edition of the news. I am Aissatou Kate, and thanks for joining us. To GRTS News, and we begin this edition of the newscast with the presidency, as His Excellency Adama Barrow Friday received in audience the Ambassador-designate of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. The top diplomat presented his letters of credence to the Gambian leader, renewing the already existing bilateral relations between Nouakchott and Banjul. Mamadou Diallo has the details.
His Excellency Sidi Mohammed Ul Mohammed Mahmoud, Ambassador-designate of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, arrived for the formal ceremony at the State House. The ambassador was then escorted to chambers, where he formally presented his letters of credence to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Adama Barrow. Speaking to reporters after the ceremony, His Excellency Ambassador Mahmoud praised the excellent bilateral ties between the two countries and pledged to consolidate them for the mutual interest of the two countries.
Yeah, I was very pleased today to be received by His Excellency the President Adama Barrow of the Gambian Republic, to brought him my letter of creditancy, more information to have about His Excellency, about the relation between Mauritania and Gambia. This is a very old relation, it's not from today. And we are two countries of the same region, and we are from Africa, from the African Union, more organization liaised to Gambia, and we have a lot of history about this relation before the independence of the two countries.
The ceremony was also attended by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Mamadou Tangara, and other senior government officials. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS News.
Still with the presidency, the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, on Thursday presided over the launch of a project meant to strengthen efficiency and accessibility of the Gambia Immigrations Department. The project, launched at the Sadauda Kairaba Conference Center in Bijulo, is funded by the Swiss government through the Geneva Center for Security Sector Reform. Ibrahim Ajalo covered the launch ceremony and files in this report.
This is a 3-year project designed to enhance the work of the Gambia Immigration Department, GID, especially on border security management. The Director General, C.D.M. Touré, explained the significance.
This move is not only meant to strengthen our strong and positive working relationship, but to solidify national and regional efforts in the cause of contributing to the security sector governance policy of the government of the Gambia. It is worth stating that the GID is in compliance to the SSR initiatives and implementation of the National Development Plan.
The project, bankrolled by the Swiss government through the Geneva Center for Security Sector Reform, the CAF, is aimed at supporting the ongoing security sector reform introduced by the Gambia government in 2017. The head of the CAF Banjul office, Ken Isaac, said the project will provide technical and strategic support in a bid to boost the operational capacity of the GID.
This project is part of a DCAF program in support of the security sector reform process, aimed at strengthening the effectiveness and efficiency, management and accountability of security institutions. The initial component of the programme focused on the Gambian Police Force. We are now including another component in support of the Gambian Immigration Department. In the past 2 years, the GID has made significant progress in addressing some key regulatory and policy gaps. These have included the GID institutional strategy and the national migration policy. However, there remain some key foundational gaps in the GID policy framework which the programme will help you to address.
Fanta B.S. Mane is the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Interior. She acknowledged the importance of the project in supporting critical components that are essential in the security sector governance.
The CAF Center for Security Sector Governance continues to intervene in capacity building and development initiatives for security personnel of the Ministry of Interior. Importantly, a series of projects, interventions, accomplished for the law enforcement agents in areas of training programs range from personal skills development to infrastructure for improved and effective service deliveries.
The Vice President, Dr. Ashel Toure, reaffirmed her government's commitment to security sector reform and that much has been achieved in this regard. She thanked the Swiss government for the support.
There has been some tremendous progress on successes registered in the security sector reform. Key among them is the review of the SIS Act, the GPF Act, the GAF Act, and very soon the GID Act. And all this is possible thanks to the support of DCAF. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to witness another step forward in our SSR journey. I understand that the overall objective of the project we are launching today is to support the Gambia Immigration Department to enhance its effectiveness in delivering its core mandate of immigration management.
The project came at a time in need for a holistic approach to curb global migration issues. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
The Consultative Forum on Promoting Peaceful Elections by ECOWAS recently concluded at the Sadauda Karabakh Conference Center. Khadija Bokum attended the closing ceremony on dialogue and peace mediation seminar and fastened this report.
Closing the 3 days mediation training and consultative forum, which brought together stakeholders, peace actors and participants from various organizations by ECOWAS on promoting peace before, during and after elections ahead of the December 4th presidential election. John Jai of IEC on behalf of ECOWAS presents an overview declaration of the training in relevance to participants and peace actors in understanding dialogue and mediation.
Participants commended the ECOWAS Commission for the timely engagement with peace actors of the Gambia in the run-up to the presidential elections, noting that the skills, the knowledge, and experience gained would be effectively and efficiently deployed for the prevention and mitigation of potential election-related disputes before, during, and after the election.
General Francis A. Behanzin, Commissioner, Political Affairs, Peace and Security of ECOWAS, highlights the importance of peaceful coexistence.
The one or two things I want to tell you, we, Gambian, we don't have anywhere we can be if it's not in the Gambia. You can have everything in the world, but when you leave our Gambia, you cannot be good.
Anna Foster, Chairperson, CSO Coalition on Election, Bishop James Odiko, and Joseph Coley of IEC speak on the need of sharing experience and ideas to understand each other's perspective on creating a shared vision for a common goal.
A lot of skills were transferred in the area of dialogue, negotiation skills, and an introduction to mediation. We all know that come preparing for the elections, we would face challenges that could pose hurdles to the acquisition of peace in the Gambia.
What we should learn to do as Gambians is to learn to appreciate, the views of other people and not to discriminate against their own views.
All the stakeholders and the participants came out with very good skills, of course, and then we shared experiences, and then we resolved, to make sure that we have free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections.
The convergence serves as a vital tool for promoting peace among the people on free, violent elections in the Gambia to avoid a reoccurrence of the December 2016 presidential election. The second leg of the training will be held in the rural Gambia, Basse Upper River region, to reach out to peace actors at the grassroots level. Reporting for GRTS News, Khadija Bokum.
Well, over now today's press release from the U.S. Embassy in Banjul, and it reads, in remembrance of the 20th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 attacks that took nearly 3,000 lives in New York, Washington, D.C. and Pennsylvania, Deputy Chief of Mission Jason Willis issued remarks to embassy personnel and recorded a message to U.S. partners in the Gambia. Speaking at a solemn ceremony on the embassy grounds, Mr. Willis noted that the people who perished were citizens from 115 countries, including the Gambia. Today, we honor all who died, including Karamo Turera and Mohamed Jawara, both sons of the Gambia. He said, "We are grateful to our allies worldwide who stood with us at our most difficult moment 20 years ago and continue as our partners. Our commitment to them is unshakable. The United States remains committed to working with its local and international partners in attaining the future we all want, a future of peace and security," Mr. Willis said. On Saturday, the memorial events will be held across the U.S. to honor the victims and remember the legacy of the September 11 attacks. The release ends. Now, the National Nutrition Agency, in collaboration with the Minister of Health and UNICEF, on Thursday observed World Breastfeeding Week on the theme, Breastfeeding, a Shared Responsibility, at the Tubakuta village in the West Coast region. Yusuf Abojang has the details.
The World Breastfeeding Week is celebrated every year from the 1st to the 7th of August. It's a campaign coordinated by the World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action, WABA, to raise awareness and galvanize action on themes related to breastfeeding. NANA joined the global community in its efforts to strengthen measures to protect, promote, and support the right to breastfeeding across the region of the Gambia. Speaking at the event, NANA Field Officer Fabakari Bass noted that breastfeeding is the optimal way of feeding babies, offering them the nutrients they need in the right balance, as well as offering protection against morbidity and mortality due to infectious diseases. He urged spouses and family members to have a shared responsibility.
Looking at that theme, breastfeeding a shared responsibility, goes to show that everybody has a stake in breastfeeding, and this would include the mother, the father, the grandparents, and even the community. Everybody have your stake in breastfeeding. So because you cannot just say the mother to breastfeed, she needs support.
Bass spoke at length on the importance of breastfeeding, explaining that breast milk alone can provide all that a baby normally needs for the first 6 months of life, and no extra drinks or feeds are needed during this period. Wade Drame of the Directorate of Health Promotion and Education Nutrition Unit said breastfeeding helps to improve maternal health as it reduces the risk of breast cancer, hypertension, among other diseases.
Breast milk is very important to prevent children from save children's life. It protects children from infection, also help children to develop their brain. So it's very important also. Mother also when they do breastfeeding, it can also help them to give the natural contraceptive that's unplanned, they prevent from unplanned pregnancy. That's very important also. That's why we are celebrating this important day to ensure that women in the community, they know the importance of breastfeeding and how they can protect themselves against unplanned pregnancy.
Fatu Keita, a member of the village support group, commended Nana and partners for celebrating the event, adding they have been encouraging lactating mothers to practice exclusive breastfeeding within their communities. She observed that breastfeeding helps the growth and development of baby's brain and immune system in order to prevent them from common illnesses, especially diarrhea and other infections. Other speakers at the event include Kemo Sedi, a village elder, Musa Dahaba, Nana Senior Program Officer, Suleiman Sane from the Regional Health Directorate, Western Health 2 Region, and Malam Fofana, Nana's regional field staff. The event was punctuated by questions and answer session, and prizes were given to winners. Breastfeeding is one of the most important of all ways to enhance the survival and growth of babies worldwide. Yusuf Bojang, GRTS News.
And now the Estonian police and border guards on Friday handed over reflectors and uniforms worth $17 million to the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, the Gambia Immigration Department and the Gambia Police Force at a ceremony held at the Banjul International Airport. Janke Ture.
Estonian Police and Border Guards is a unified national governmental agency within the Estonian Ministry of Interior and is responsible for law enforcement and internal security in the Republic of Estonia, and as part of its cooperation handed over 10,000 unused uniforms and reflectors to the Gambian authorities. Tamo Vikman is the leading law enforcement officer of the Estonian Police and Border Guards. He further explained the underlying principle behind this initiative.
Estonia Police has new uniforms since 2019, and large number of unused items from the previous uniform collection are no longer used. So we hope those uniform elements will find a new life and the local Gambian cooperation partners can put them to good use. The Gambian authorities are excellent partners for other countries, and by donating uniform elements, we can improve their response capacity.
The donation is the second of its kind as part of the Estonian Development Project.
After re-establishment of its independence 30 years ago, Estonia also relied heavily on external support from our neighbors and partners. And now we have the possibilities and privilege to support our partners and friends in different parts of the world. Due to established very good cooperation relations and contacts, we decided to include among them also the Gambia.
The beneficiaries hailed the Estonian police for the wonderful gesture, stating that the donation will immensely contribute to their smooth operations.
These uniforms being handed over today will undoubtedly boost the morale of our personnel, whilst the reflectors will enhance their safety and security during operations. The materials will go a long way in complementing our efforts in providing the right equipment and creating the right environment for the improvement of aviation security at BIA.
This impressive support will go a long way in cementing the already existing cordial relationship that both of us share. Mr. Stern has been very supportive with GID since he commenced his official mission in the Gambia with capacity building
between the Gambia and IFAD for the period 2019-2024. The midterm review affords an opportunity to take stock of completed works and what needs to be corrected to take on board new priorities where possible. The IFAD country director said the project seeks to sustainably improve living conditions for poor rural households and communities, for food security, nutrition, and job creation for youth and women, while building resilience of smallholder farmers to environmental degradation and climate-related issues.
Through very purpose, 1.5 million of NEMA and the 80 million route project that will be implemented in 5 regions, targeting 39 districts in the country. This COSOP will contribute to the government's strategic vision aiming to improve the Gambia well-being, vision, and delivering sustainable and inclusive benefit through the inclusion of youth and women.
The permanent secretary at the Ministry of Environment, by Jabang, deputized for the minister.
And of course, the COSOP is a mechanism that allows the country to assess its priorities vis-a-vis the resource envelopes, provided in IFAD, and of course, review and redirect resources as may be necessary. And so, midway through its implementation, it's quite pivotal to come back again, look at it, and see if we are going in the right direction, or do we have new priorities that we want to bring on board as well.
The Minister of Gender, Women, Children and Social Welfare expanded on the important role women play in the agriculture sector and how the project capacity to improve lives and livelihood.
The involvement of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare is also very important in this, because we are all aware that in the agriculture, women are not left behind. And once women are empowered in agriculture, the entire family benefits. And we are also aware that no nation can develop without the full involvement of women. So in view of that, the role of women in agriculture is very important. And it's also another way of creating employment for women and alleviating poverty among women.
The Minister of Agriculture, Ami Fabri, stated that over the years, IFAD has supported the total of 11 programs and projects in the Gambia, including lowland development programs, livestock and horticulture development, amongst a host of others.
The current vehicle through which the stated objectives of the current COSOP is being pursued is the Roots project, whose development objective is to increase agricultural productivity and access to market for enhanced food security and nutrition, and resilience of family farms and farmer organizations. As a mark of its national significance, the $80 million project was launched by none other than His Excellency President Adama Barrow on the 9th February 2021.
IFAD has also continued to provide direct funding for development projects in the Gambia.
Though encountering the usual teething problems at project startup, especially with this COVID-19 pandemic, there is high expectations of the Roots project, and my ministry will do all it can to ensure its success. May I add that the beauty of the current COSOP is its full alignment with our sectorial development objectives in the Gambia National Agriculture Investment Plan, we call it GNIVE, as well as the strategic objectives in the National Development Plan.
This review exercise is expected to identify, through systematic performance assessment, necessary mid-term corrective measures to ensure that COSOP remains relevant and effective. For the news, I am Aissatou Jata Gassama.
The Minister of Defense, Sheikh Omar Faye, recently led a Gambia government economic delegation to attend the funeral of the 2 civilians who died following an accident involving an economic vehicle. GRTS Mahmoud Bajan was among scores of mourners who paid their last respects to the deceased.
Having passed away following an accident on Sunday morning at the Mariama Kunda Johnson, the bodies of Modu Korkaba and Kemo Sane were on Monday laid to rest at Yundum. The funeral was attended by scores of individuals, including a government and economic delegation. This included the Minister of Defense, Sheikh Omar Faye, Economic Commander Colonel Sheikh Omar Tamba, the Sierra Leonean High Commissioner, and other senior security officials.
The ambassadors with a big delegation. We have the Economic Commander, we have the Chief of Defense Staff Representative, General Jaune, we have the Strategic Operations Officer, General Sekan, a lot of senior officers from the armed forces of both ECOMIC and the Gambia, and all our sister services, including the DJ representative, SIS, all sister services leadership are present here today.
At the mosque and elsewhere at the family house, Sheikh Al-Haiba Haidara and Defense Minister Sheikh Omar Faye reiterated their condolences and that of the government of the Gambia as regards the unfortunate demise of the two young men.
We are extending our condolences to the family on behalf of ECOWAS, the leadership, and all Gambians. We want to say we are sorry, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his infinite mercy to have sympathy and mercy on the departed souls. And we want to just come here and share the grief with this family, because these are very difficult times. But the president asked us, the ECOWAS leadership stood by, everybody come together to say that this is our family. We are sorry for what happened. And then inshallah, ECOWAS has brought in an envelope of 50,000 to put it as part of the ceremony of the charity, but also they have something that they want to do with the family, but it's not for public consumption. They will talk to the leadership of the family through the ECOWAS ambassador and the ECOWAS commanders, and then we will reach out to the family. Once again, we want to say on behalf of President Barrow, ECOWAS, we are very sorry.
While adding 10,000 to the 50,000 given by ECOMIC as their token for the funeral, Brigadier General Turo Jaune, who represented the Chief of Defense Staff, also re-echoed their grief concerning the accident. Community member Alaji Kanyi said the incident is indeed a great loss to the family and the entire country. He joined us in praying to Allah to forgive the shortcomings of the deceased and reward them with bountiful blessings. Speaking in the name of the family, Mohammed Said Jallo said they are glorifying Allah regardless of the tragic incident. It is a difficult moment for the family and the nation at large, but as Muslims, we will take it in good faith and accept that this is what Allah has ordained, he continued. One of the deceased, being a grade 12 student of Model Senior Secondary School, personnel and students of the school were also in attendance. Lamin Jete, who spoke on their behalf, and the entirety of the education fraternity, stated that they are deeply saddened.
The school principal, the two vice principals and the teachers, as well as the student population, are also part of the group. The Regional Education Directorate and the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education are fully aware of what had happened. We are deeply saddened about this sad news. And we want to extend the condolence of the entire education fraternity to the family. And we heard the remarks from those who have spoken, the consoling statements that they have given. I think we should extend and add our prayers onto what they have said.
In addition to this, Police Commissioner Fakeba Dabo, a family friend, appealed for government intervention, particularly regarding the fate of the other 4 victims of the accident who are currently said to be hospitalized with injuries. For the news, this is Modu Bajan.
Well, may the souls of the deceased rest in eternal peace. Moving on, Pakaliba Ward Development Committee recently inaugurated a drain canal linking Jara Sukuta and Pakaliba and a water project in Misiracham. The project is funded by United Nations Capital Development Fund, alleging by
in the development of the area. The drain improves access to market for farmers from several communities who uses the feeder road to the main highway, while the water project will ease challenges of access to clean drinking water for the community of Misiracham, who had long struggled with lack of water in the community. The Vice Chairman of Mansakonko Area Council, who is also the Councillor of Pakaliba Ward, Almamo Sise, said the 2 projects were top of the priority list of the Ward Development Committee.
This project is very important because it's demand-driven. So this was designed according to the need of the community. We sit as a committee, that is the Ward Development Committee of Pakaliba Ward. Every member representing various communities have to come with their priority areas. So in reference to that, so we select those based on our scales of preferences. So that's why the construction of these culverts came as the first priority of my ward, and that of the ward borehole that we are inaugurating today came as the second priority of my ward.
Salif Jaite of UNCDF said in addition to the provision of jobs, skills and access to finance, the new drainage system also aims to mitigate the effects of climate change in the area.
And when you look at the structure of the culvert, it's also to mitigate climate change, because when you look at the area where the bridge is built, is just to help the community to be more resilient to climate change. So that's the reason we have some of this culvert around Pakaliba, but also in some of the communities. So the overall objective of the program is in threefold, as I said, climate change adaptation, assisting in access to finance, and creating job for youth and women in the Gambia.
Kabiro Dabo of Awaid Al Khair Foundation, the sponsors of the water project, said the borehole is part of a series of activities carried out by his foundation to complement government's development efforts.
And this is very important in our work. This is part of our work, one of the projects area that we do. We do water, we do borehole drilling and well drilling. We also do intervene in health. Like currently we are doing cataract operation in Soma Health Center. We will also go to Bashi and Bansang Hospital.
In his inaugural statement, the chairman of Mansakonko Area Council, Landing B. Sane, said such projects are in line with his council's strategic plan. He advised his people to be tax compliant, which he said is crucial in national development. These projects were presented by the Ward Development Committee as priority needs in the area. We have lots of development plans, but some are wants, while others, such as these two, are needs. Several other community members thanked the donors for the gesture and assured the sustainability of the projects. Alajimbai, GRTS News.
For the report by Alajimbai takes us to a break. Sports news is up next. Do stay.
One cappuccino, please.
Download the AfriTV app and watch your favorite TV channels anywhere, anytime. Just dial *222# to subscribe and buy special data bundles at a cheaper price. AfriCell makes life easier.
Tired of seeing the message you have insufficient funds in your account? Worry no more. With AfriCell, the cholera credit just got way better.
Now you can continue your conversations with your loved ones. With the new cholera credit, you can now borrow up to $250 credit. Send a blank SMS to 152 to get your cholera credit and activate the service of your choice. For more info, please call 111.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Welcome back. And in sports, Gambian champions Fortune Football Club will host Algerian side ES Setif in the first leg of the preliminary round of qualifiers for the CAF Champions League at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. Well, our sports reporter Famara Baji watched Fortune's final training earlier this evening and previews tomorrow's game.
The stage is all set for the much anticipated encounter between Gambian champions Fortune Football Club and Algerian side ES Setif. The two teams will do battle over two legs in the preliminary round of qualifiers for the CAF Club Champions League, with Fortune hosting ES Setif in the first leg. The two sides rounded up their preparations ahead of tomorrow's showdown at the Independence Stadium, with their final match day training sessions. Fortune is the Gambia's sole representative in continental club football, and coach Jen Diouf appears upbeat ahead of leading his charges in their final outing in the qualifiers of Africa's most prestigious club competition.
We are prepared as a team. As you know, we started this preparation a couple of weeks ago. Tomorrow is the D-Day. So to be frank enough, we are very much prepared for tomorrow's game.
Despite facing a tough opponent in ES Setif, who have twice won the CAF Champions League in the past, the Fortune boss hailed the morals and spirit of his players ahead of the game.
Yeah, the morale is very high, especially during the course of this week since we started our intensive preparation and concentration for this game. We have realized in them that they are really ready and then to give us the positive results that we expected from them. So definitely the mood in the camp is also very convincing, and if you can see now in the free-up session, everybody is eager to show what they want to do tomorrow, inshallah.
Fortune are hoping to reach the group stages of the CAF Champions League, but must first overcome the 8 times Algerian champions, a task the Petroleum boys are determined to achieve.
Yeah, you know, when you're playing home together with the home advantage, the only target that you have to put in place or to fight and get is to win convincingly 2, 3, 4 goals if there is a possibility. Because against these North African people, you never know when you go away to play against them what will happen. So, but the most important of all for us is to win the home game. That is our major target, with also scoring as many as we can.
An arduous challenge ahead for both teams, as they are set to clash tomorrow Saturday 4 p.m. at the Independence Stadium. Famara Baji, GRTS News.
Well, wishing them the best of luck in tomorrow's game. And now we move on with other news, and starting in Guinea, where ECOWAS officials have been meeting on Friday with special military forces that overthrew Alpha Conde's government. The ECOWAS delegation is led by Burkina Faso's Foreign Minister Alpha Barry, accompanied by Foreign Minister Alpha Barry, accompanied by foreign ministers from Ghana, Nigeria, and Togo. The ECOWAS meeting with Mamadi Doumbouya is aimed at securing the release of Condé, the return of constitutional order, as well as understanding the reason behind the coup. CGTN's Desiree Cannon tells us more.
Bloc ECOWAS, which suspended Guinea on Wednesday after the military coup, will arrive in Conakry this Friday. According to some sources, ECOWAS is coming to Conakry to negotiate the release of the deposed President Alpha Condé, listen to the junta, and know more about the coup d'etat. ECOWAS is coming to Guinea to inquire about the state of health of Alpha Condé, to meet him with the agreement of the junta, to know the conditions in which he lives, and to find out what the junta really needs to do with him. The question now is whether the coup leaders will put Alpha Condé under house arrest, or will he be forcibly exiled. ECOWAS will also involve the country's political parties and civil society in their discussion with the junta on how to put in place the transition structures, which means form a new government and the transitional council, which will play the role of a parliament. Speaking of the transition calendar, ECOWAS does not want it to last 18 months as desired by the junta. The result of today's meeting will tell us more about the future of Guinea. Desiree Canon, CGTN, Conakry, Guinea.
Well, we will leave it at that, but first a look at our top stories once again. The ambassador-designate of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania has presented his letters of credence to the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow at State House in Banjul. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, has presided over the launch of a project designed to strengthen efficiency and accessibility for the Gambia Immigrations Department, and a 3-day consultative forum on the need to promote peaceful elections by ECOWAS has wrapped up at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center. In sports, GFF First Division champions Fortune Football Club will host Algerian side ES Setif in its CAF Champions debut on Saturday at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. In the internationals, officials of ECOWAS have been meeting with special military forces in Guinea following the recent overthrow of Alpha Conde's government. Also in Guinea, the military junta said deposed President Alpha Conde's mismanagement of the country's resources triggered the takeover. Well, that does it for the news at 8. Join us again at 2200 hours for more news and update. Until then, I was your presenter, Aissatou Keita, and stay tuned for more programs.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia,
Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books, and all kinds of printed documents, plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high-quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'll be offered highly professional, reliable, and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
COVID-19 has been with us for over 1 year now, since being first discovered